In this video, we're going to learn calculations using powers of 10. We're going to learn addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Let's start with addition. The steps are 1. Express the numbers to be added in the same power of 10. Add the numbers without their powers of 10. Bring down common power of 10 and express in scientific notation. Let's look at the first example. Let's add 2 times 10 to the 6th power and 5 times 10 to the 7th power. Let's set our problem as an addition problem, and now let's express the numbers to be added in the same power of 10. Let's take a look at the exponents. We have 6 and 7. 7 is the bigger exponent, so if we decrease it to 6, we move to the right. And that's what we want, because positive exponents, we always move to the right. So we have 50 times 10 to the 6th power. And now both exponents are the same. Now let's add the numbers without their powers of 10. Let's add 50 plus 2 will be 52. Now step 3 says bring down common power of 10. We have our answer and we bring down the common power of 10. Now we need to express this answer in scientific notation, so we need to add a decimal and 1 digit to the right, and we move to the right. That will be 5.2 times 10 to the 7th power. Now if you want, pause this video and work this next problem by yourself. Okay, let's add these two numbers. We have 4.1 times 10 to the 3rd power and 7.9 times 10 to the 2nd power. Let's look at the exponents. As I said, let's always decrease positive exponents. So let's decrease 10 to the 3rd power. That will be 41 times 10 to the 2nd power. And both our exponents are the same. Now add the numbers without their powers of 10. So let's add the numbers. 41.0, 7.9. This is how we put our addition problems when adding decimals. Now let's add, and we have 48.9. Then let's bring down the common power of 10, which is 10 squared. As you see, this number is not expressed in scientific notation. When a number is expressed in scientific notation, we have a we have a decimal and a digit to the left. So if we put the decimal, that will be 4.8, and we move 1 to the right, that will be 4.89 times 10 to the 3rd power. That's our answer. Now let's talk about subtraction. The steps for subtracting powers of 10 are as follows. Step 1, express the numbers to be added in the same power of 10. Step 2, subtract the numbers without their powers of 10. Bring down common power of 10, and if necessary, express in scientific notation. Subtract 2.5 times 10 to the negative 12th power from 7.5 times 10 to the negative 11th power. Now let's set up our problem as a subtraction problem, and now let's look at the exponents and express the numbers to be added in the same power of 10. When the exponent is positive, we want to decrease it and move to the right. When the exponent is negative, we want to increase it and move to the left. So let's increase the negative 12, because negative 12 is less than negative 11. So we will decrease in negative 12, that will be negative 11. And we move to the left, so that will be 0.25. Now both our numbers are expressed in the same power. Now we minus them. 7.50 minus 0.25. 0 minus 5, we cannot subtract. So we need to borrow from the 5. And 5 will be 4, and that 0, we add that 10, that 1, which makes it 10. Okay, now 10 minus 5 will be 5, 2, so 7.25 is our answer. Next, having our answer, we bring down the common power. As you see, this number is already expressed in scientific notation, decimal and 1 digit to the left. So our final answer is 7.25 times 10 to the 11th power. Now, once again, you can pause this video and work the next problem. Subtract 3.5 times 10 to the negative 6 power from 2.2 times 10 to the negative 5th power. Let's set our problem as a subtraction problem. Now let's take a look at the exponents. Negative 6 and negative 5. Negative 6 is less than negative 5. So let's increase the negative 6 and we move to the left. So we increase the negative 6, that will be negative 5. So we will have 0.35 times 10 to the negative 5th power. And both our exponents are the same. Now let's subtract the numbers without their powers. So 0.3, is 2.20 minus 0.35. 0 minus 5, we cannot subtract. 2 minus 3, we cannot subtract. We need to borrow. So when we borrow, that will be 1.11 and 10. So 10 minus 5 is 8. 11 minus 3 is, 10 minus 5 is 5. 11 minus 3 is 8, and we bring down the 1. That will be 1.85. And we'll bring down the common power of 10. And as you can see, this is already expressed in scientific notation. Great. Let's move on now to multiplication. Steps for multiplying. Step 1. Multiply number without power of 10. Add powers of 10 exponents. So we will add the exponents expressed in scientific notation. Let's take a look at the first example. Multiply 5 times 10 to the 12 by 3 times 10 to the negative 6. Let's set our problem as a multiplication problem. So now, first step, multiply number without power of 10. That's our first step. So let's multiply 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Now, step 2, add powers of 10, which we will be adding the exponents. So let's take a look at the exponents. We have 10 and negative 6. Let's add them. So we have the power of 10, and let's add the exponents. 12 plus negative 6, that will be 6. So we have our new exponent with our new power with the exponent, which is 10 to the 6th power. Let's bring down 10 to the 6th power. And now look at this problem. Our final answer needs to be expressed in scientific notation. So this is our final answer, 1.5 times 10 to the 7th power. Now, once again, pause the video and work this example. Multiply 1.2 times 10 to the 3rd power by 4 times 10 to the 2nd power. We set our problem as a multiplication problem. Let's multiply 1.2 times 4. That will be 4.8. Now let's take a look at the exponents. We have 3 and 2, and let's add the exponents. 3 plus 2 is 5. And now we have our new power of 10, which is 10 to the 5th power. Let's bring it down, and we have 4.8 times 10 to the 5th power, and that's our final answer, already expressed in scientific notation. Let's move on to division. Now, if you have reached at this point of the video, please Let me know if this video is helping you to understand calculations using power of 10. Let's move on. Steps for dividing. Step 1. Divide numbers without their powers. Step 2 is very important. Subtract powers of 10, numerator minus denominator. And 3. Express in scientific notation. Let's divide 5.0 times 10 to the 8th power by 2.5 times 10 to the 3rd power. We need to set our problem first as a division problem. So it's already set, as you can see. Now, step 1. Divide numbers without their powers. We divide 5.2 divided by 2.5. As you can see, half of 5 is 2.5, and 2.5 will be 5, so we have 2. 2 is our answer. Now, step 2 says subtract powers of 10, numerator minus denominator. So let's take a look at the exponents. We have 8 and 3. Let's minus. So we need to set it in this way. 10, power of 10, exponents, 8 minus 3. That will be 5. So our new power of 10 is 10 to the 5th power. Let's bring it down. So we have 2 times 10 to the 5th power, and this is already expressed in scientific notation. So that's our final answer. Once again, pause the video and work this problem. Divide 8 times 10 to the 6th power by 2 times 10 to the negative power. Both are negative, sorry. 8 times 10 to the negative 6th power. Let's set our problem as a division problem, and let's divide the numbers without their powers. So we will divide 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Now let's subtract. Whenever we divide, we subtract. So we have our powers. We have negative 6 and negative 10. So this is how we set up the problem. I like to use brackets because it will help you to avoid problems. So we have 10 to the negative 6 minus negative 10. As you can see, negative and a negative will be positive. So we will have negative 6 plus 10. Now we can see that we will be left with 4. So 4 is our answer, and our new power of 10 is 10 to the 4th. Let's bring down the 10. The powers of 10. Now we have 4 times 10 to the 4th power. And as you can see, that's already expressed in scientific notation, and that's our final answer. Thank you for watching. And if you reach till the end, thank you very much. See you on the next one.